just have a great meeting. And now I'm going to welcome our Master of Ceremonies and hand over to her, Granny B.
Thank you so much, Ulrich, our host of the evening. Good evening to everyone that's here. And if you are a visitor, a guest, and you've never attended a Toastmasters meeting before, a special warm welcome on a winter's night, or I don't know whether it's hot or cold with you. And we are called the Happy Clappers, because if we're normally in an in-person meeting, you would be hearing us clap, 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 clap. So if you can find the emoji and you see everybody else is moving and shaking and clapping, just don't look out or feel out. Just join the Jubilee. There we go. There we go. Jasmine, you found the emojis and everyone else. Now, tonight's session is all about giving you an opportunity to understand a bit more about Toastmasters and to find out how you can use Toastmasters for your personal and professional or business success by developing essential skills that will take you to new heights. We are not going to have a full, complete Toastmasters program. And we have stripped it down a little bit in terms of making use of language that you would be familiar with so that you can understand what it is that we're busy working on. That when you move from here into a Toastmasters meeting, and they call it something different, it's just tonight is the introduction. And we don't want you to be worried about all the names and things that are taking place there, but we would like you to sit back, relax, and learn. And hopefully be inspired in such a way that you are ready for your success in life. The Toastmasters program has many, many facets to it. Tonight, we'll focus on 4 key, and we're going to call them pillars because they are the sturdy blocks that if those things are in place, you are going to have a great Toastmasters experience. And the first pillar of Toastmasters I'm going to address with you is that of leadership. Now, I sometimes do a presentation called Toastmasters, My School of Business, because I've discovered how the entire Toastmasters package, especially the leadership side, prepares me for business. You might say, I'm not in business. Then I want to tell you, you are a business. And you'll say, well, how can you say that? Listen, what is business? Business is about having a products or services that you present to your customers, and you are remunerated for that. You receive an income and you have expenses. And the most important thing is to make sure that your income exceeds your expenses. If you don't do that in your personal life, you are in serious trouble. You are a business, because even if you're working for an employer, you have a service or a product that you are offering to your company. By joining a Toastmasters group and upskilling yourself, you learn to develop yourself so much better and have an advantage above many. Now, how does that work? For every club to run, we need to have club officers, the people that are going to help make the club run. The exact officers that are there are exactly that which you need to run a business or your own personal life. Even if you're a business of one, I'm not going to go into it in all detail, but I'm just going to help you have a little taste of what's involved when you run a business and a club officer and the similarities there. Number one, the business owner, the CEO of a company or the president of a club, same person, learning to lead. There's a vision and a goal given you, or you put it out there yourself and you lead your team or yourself to accomplish that. Number two, we have a VPE, Vice President Education. You don't have to remember any of those things. That person is similar to the learning and development department in large corporates. They take care, it's like the HR, they take care of the internal to grow them and to mold them and to provide them what they need. Then you get the VPM, Vice President Membership. That's your marketer. That's where you learn how to do marketing, close the sale. Then you get VPPR, Vice President Public Relations. That's your PR at work. That's your PR. That's where you learn to PR yourself, to develop your own brand and to be able to know how to put it out there. And then we have a secretary, which is a company secretary handling legal documents, etc. We have the treasurer, that is the purse of the club, but that's the finances that you need in your business as well, and making budgets, etc. And lastly, we have the logistics manager, the sergeant at arms. So if you want to develop yourself in terms of business or leadership, you can do that within Toastmasters and its leadership. But there's more. Tonight, I would like to introduce you to our entry-level speaker. Our entry-level speaker, we present to you to help you understand. Okay, so I'm in the dark. There is the swap taking place. It seems my internet stayed on. Just a moment. I will be in the light. The lights have just gone on. I hear the engine starting. So you should see me in a moment. At least I didn't drop off. I just went black. Our entry-level speaker is a person that's fairly new in Toastmasters and is beginning their journey. There we go. And tonight, you'll be able to see where a person can begin. And then after that, we will take you to a more advanced speaker. And you can see where you can grow to. So to introduce you to our entry-level speaker tonight, who is Don Isaacs, he is going to present to us, Don't Just Exist, Come Alive. Let's welcome Don Isaacs. Don, you are welcome.
Thank you, Granny B. I'm really excited because it'll be my first Toastmaster speech that goes international. So we've got people from Botswana, from South Africa. I'm really quite excited at my few minutes of fame. So yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity to have my few moments. I'm really excited to share my speech with everyone. Now, in some circles, I'm known as Don, the marketing manager, Don, Mr. Vessel Operations, etc., etc. But that's the boring part. I want to share tonight with you what makes me really come alive, what makes me unwind, and it's nice to be in a career where you get recognized, but that's the dull. That's just what you do for a living. That's to get the rands and cents going. But I've gone on a journey where I explored and I really got to know what really makes me come alive. Now, I got introduced to Toastmasters by Marie Claire. After my first meeting, I became very excited at the idea of what Toastmasters can do for me, because I am not a great public speaker, believe it or not, but it really gave me I got the impression that Toastmasters will help me overcome the fear of speaking in front of an audience and give me that self-assurance. And to stop using crutch words like I just did now. I did not even know they existed before I came to Toastmasters. So Toastmasters actually not only helps me to speak in front of an audience or when I have to do presentations for work, but I'm also at the age now where you get approached at functions, family functions, social gatherings, where you have to now, as an uncle, give a speech or be the MC, or it just gives me that freedom to talk to people in general, and that's my biggest reason for joining Toastmasters. Now, growing up in a small central Namibian town, it was a bit difficult to find ways to stimulate your brain, and I always wanted to challenge myself. And this is where I stumbled upon the enchanting world of music. Now, music became an escape and a happy place that I visit even until this day. Because it's in the most challenging of times, I could pick up my guitar, sit down in front of a piano, keyboard, and immerse my thoughts, my being, my state of mind into the melodic notes of whatever instrument I'm playing. You get transported away and you reach a state of zen. And also at the same time, have a liberating moment that makes me come alive. So I get completely lost in the moment when I'm busy playing an instrument. You'd have to really come and touch me to get my attention. But after that, I'd really be in a completely positive frame of mind, and it's still my way of finding that what makes me come alive. Music, since I started with it, it also gives you an appreciation when somebody else does it. So there's a beauty and there's an appreciation that it awakens. So that is the first point on my speech tonight. That maybe one of you is a budding musician that would like to also explore that freedom that music gives you. And the day could have been a stress. I could have had a stressful day completely. But after spending time, if only just an hour on the guitar, you'd find me in the best of moods, very jovial, very outgoing, and in the mood for party. Now, the challenges in modern day living necessitates the need for one to have leisurely activities that aid you in escaping and unwinding. Now, after 80 years of living in Walvis Bay, a coastal town, I have never thought about buying a fishing rod, getting tackle, and going fishing. But it just so happened that I bought myself a second-hand 4x4. And this 4x4 had rod holders on it. And then I moved into a house at the same time, and there were rod holders in the garage. So I said, well, it seems like somebody might be sending me a message, or there's a message in this whole thing. It can't be a complete coincidence. And that's when I decided to take up recreational fishing. It went a bit difficult at first, but then I discovered the solace and the freedom sitting next to the water, appreciating nature, having time to clear your mind. Because I also at the time went through a very difficult phase in my career. So recreational fishing really not only made me escape, but just like with music, it really changed my mood. It changed my being. It made me a happier person. And most importantly, it made me come alive. So that's another avenue for anybody out there. But these two methods are just mine. It may work for me. It may cause stress for people to sit next to the water and sit and wait for a fish to bite. But I can almost guarantee that once it bites, it might hook you as well. So, in conclusion, for more than 26 years, looking at my face, you wouldn't say that, but for more than 26 years, although it being intermittently, I've immersed myself into the worlds of music and recreational fishing. Both these activities not only helps me preserve my sanity, but it also keeps me conscious of the beauty of in the creation of music and in the beauty of nature. It kind of takes you away from the drab existence of just going to work, coming back home, doing all you need to do. We need to do what we need to do from day to day, but we should not lose ourselves. We should not forget that there's more to being a person than doing all the drab and gloomy. So, in closing, in life, it's so difficult to, or it's so easy to get caught up in this rat race of life. We call it a rat race because just like a rat, you're just spinning a wheel, not getting anywhere. So instead of getting caught in that, I would like to urge each and every one of you to get out and discover that which makes you come alive. Thank you very much.
Well done. You did it. Well done on that. And that's what happened. We, as a Toastmasters family, a club environment, created a safe place for you to rise up. And as you were saying, one gets a lot of jitters when you start with this journey. And I am so proud of you for taking that step and becoming, as you said, worldwide, public, online. There, you did it. Well done on that. Well, that brings me to the second pillar of Toastmasters that I'd like to share with you, and that is exactly around speaking. Speaking is quite a focus in our meetings, because when you join, you will be connected with an educational path where you will gain educational material, and they will tell you what you need to do. Once you've done that, you will come to the meeting and give a presentation that equates that. And then something precious will happen, and I'll tell you more about that soon. But for you to be able to understand something important about speaking, it's this. Have a look around the world. The greatest influencers, whether they were influencing for good or for evil, it doesn't matter, but they were great orators. People that can speak well, that are confident in what they say, have a power of convincing crowds and empowering others, or depowering them, if there's such a word. You understand, it is so important that we develop the capacity to learn how to verbalize and how to be able to express ourselves. So tonight we're going to move on from our entry-level speaker into our more advanced speaker, and we have to show us the way Brand von West, and he is going to share with us looks versus outlooks, how leaders are made. Come, let's give Brand a warm welcome. Brand, you are welcome. Go for it.
You know what? This is really difficult to say. I hate my boss. I hate him. I really just hate him. I can't stand him. If you hate your boss, if you ever had to deal with a bad boss, just put in the chat yes. Just say yes. Let me just know I'm not alone. Because I had such a bad boss, and I just thought, like, why? Why me? Just put yes. If you ever had a bad boss, you just like, can't stand you. I can't take this. Just say yes. Just say yes. And the more I started to try and help, and the more I tried to learn, the more I just got so confused and I got misused, and everything I did just seemed to lead to nowhere. I was constantly thinking I'm like I'm lost. I'm on this gigantic river, and I'm just constantly trying to row upriver in a tiny boat, and I'm not getting anywhere. And it's like every single day of my life. I'm rowing and I'm rowing and I'm fighting the stream and I'm fighting a good fight and I'm trying to do my best and I get nowhere. You see, my boss, he would be the best boss ever because he would just delegate everything. He would delegate his tasks, his duties, his responsibilities, all to me, just me. There's 40 other staff members, but you know, it's Brun's problem now. And this guy, he would steal my ideas, he would misuse my time. You would never be able to just say, you know what, let's work on this together. Let's find a way that I can help you, that I can be a servant to help you succeed. That's not the boss I am. No. Frequently, I just wanted to feel like I'm screaming into oblivion. Nothing I do matters because I was stuck. I felt an endless cycle, a loop, where I would wake up at 4 to get to the bus by 5, to get to school by 6, so I can start my job at 7, so I can do all my boss's jobs, so that I can spend until about 8 o'clock at night, because now after I did all his jobs, I need to do my own jobs. So every day I would wake up at 4, I would get to school, I would come home by 8, I would be in bed by 10, and I would basically be falling asleep by 11. And then comes the next day. I would wake up at 4, I would go to school, I would do my job, I would do my boss's job, and then I would come home and finally get to sleep about 8, 11, 12, 1 o'clock. And this went on for years. And I never stood up for myself. I never thought, it's like, you know what, this is not fair, this is not right. What about Brunt? What about Brunt's needs? But I never say something like that because I want my job. I need my job. If I say something, I'll get written up as a verbal warning or a written warning, or I'll get some sort of punishment for speaking up, for speaking my mind, for saying I am worth something. But it never happens. No. So there was this one pivotal moment in my life. I joined Toastmasters in 2015. I spent about 6 months and I learned so much. I learned how to better myself, how to better look at things, how to change my perspective, and how to try and be the person I want to be. Because with my little time that I had, I was trying to improve myself. And then one day, I was sitting at my desk and I decided, okay, I'm so overloaded with work, but I'm really hungry. I need something to eat, but I can't just go out to dinner. I can't just do anything I want. I need to have something over the next 30 minutes so I can get back to marking. So what would be ideal would be to have something I can eat with one hand and with my other hand keep working. So I decided, okay, KFC. KFC, it's easy. I used to have these pops. I don't know if they still do. These little chicken nuggets, because I could just down it with one hand and keep working with the other. That was my life. That was my existence. So I go to KFC. Get in my car, I go to KFC. I said, please, I need just like your largest pops, you know, double large, triple large, whatever. I'm really hungry and I don't have time. Sorry, sir, it's going to be about 5 minutes of wait. It's like 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, that's like 2 questions that I could have answered. Okay, fine. I can't do anything else now. I'm stuck. Take my money. Give me the pops. Okay. I get the pops. I go back to school. I sit behind my desk and I mark everything. And I am in such a fantastic mood that everything just gets done really quickly. And finally, I was able to go home by 6 o'clock, which was something unusual for me. I was in bed by 7. I was asleep by 8. And then finally, I just hear, sir, your pops is ready. And I wake up. I'm still at KFC. This entire wonderful thing was a dream. And you know what was really terrible? Was that my wildest dream, my most exciting thing that I could think of, was to be home by 6 and finish my work. That very next day, I wrote my resignation letter. I said, I can't do this anymore. It's like, yeah, but what are you going to do? What else are you going to do? I don't know. I don't know. But you know what I did? I focused on myself. And Toastmasters helped me focus on myself. It helped me find clarity to figure out who Brant is. What is the value of Brant? And I learned these different styles of leadership. And I recognized that we are all on a different journey. And for a long time, I didn't want to be a leader. I didn't want to have any sort of leadership responsibility. Even when I got leadership positions, I still said, I'm not a leader. Don't talk, I'm not your leader. It's like, yeah, but you are president, you are area director, you are division director. I'm not leader. I'm just here to help. But eventually I learned that leaders are made by your choices, your actions, your inactions. And finally, after years of struggling, after years of denying it for myself, I realized I am a leader. And I was made. Be the leader that you want to be. Start your journey. Be you. Thank you.
Wow. Start your journey, be you. And it is in your decisions, the decisions that you make. Wow. Thank you, Brant. Such a passionate presentation with real nuggets of truth there for us. Thank you for letting us into your learning journey and especially helping us to see how Toastmasters has given you capacity and voice and a platform and a place that could nurture you as you were growing and making those quality decisions. So tonight we have looked at some of the pillars of Toastmasters. We've looked at the leadership, the pillar number one being that of leadership and how the leadership can help you structure yourself in a business, for yourself personally, or in a company where you are. We looked at communication in terms of speaking to understand how that works. And now we move on to the next pillar, that of where else would you actually be able to grow when you've just made a presentation and somebody gives you meaningful, quality, motivational feedback. Now, when I use the word motivational, I don't mean that we whitewash everything. In other words, we just tell you all the great things you've done. And it's important that you know what you did great. It's important that you know what worked for me. And then it's important to also share something that that person could potentially do to improve. Now, nobody here is a professional peer feedbacker, if there's such a word. But we are each other's peers. And when a person speaks, you get to feel and look and hear and touch that message that came across. And then you can make sure to share with them something they did that was really good, that worked, that stood out for you. And it is your perception. It is how you see it. Then you can say, I think you might want to improve in this area by doing that. So it's constructive and it's motivating. It's motivating you to improve yourself. Here, to help us on that journey is our very own Bame. She is going to share a quick, short feedback for each one of the speakers. Come, let's welcome Bame from Botswana. Welcome, our peer feedback leader, Bame.
Yay! Thank you so much for that warm introduction, Granny B. As said, I'll be giving feedback, and I'll start with our entry-level speaker, Dawn. Dawn, that was a wonderful speech. I could tell that she really spent time preparing for that speech. And what I loved about it was the structure. You had an introduction, a body with 3 main points that you were trying to communicate about your Toastmasters experience, about the music and the fishing, and then you ended with a conclusion. And the conclusion was brilliant because you also gave us a call to action to say that even us, we should find our own paths, because during his speech, you mentioned what makes you come alive, and that it might not be the same thing that we would like to bring us out, that makes us come alive, but we can craft our own path. So I think that you communicated that brilliantly. All of us are very convinced. Now, if I was to recommend something that you want to try in the future to make your speeches even more exceptional now, is maybe to just start. When you gave your speech, you first said thank you, and you started with pleasantries, but you've already been introduced by the Toastmaster of the day, so there's no need for that. You can go in straight head on with that first line that you had that captured us as an audience to reel us into your story, and then we're just focused on just that. And I look forward to your speeches going forward, taking into consideration that small bit of feedback. Since it's an elementary speech, we don't want to bombard you with too much information, but that would be a really good tip. You've already got a strong foundation. Now moving on to Toastmaster Brett. Toastmaster Brett, I might be a little more harsh on you because you're a more advanced Toastmaster. I need to get to the specifics, but let me start, of course, with what I loved about your speech, because before you criticize someone, you always have to compliment them. I can't pick out the negative without first pointing out what you did exceptionally well. And first of all, your gestures is something that I really caught from your speech. The way you use vocal variety, your pace, and eye contact. You were facing, eye contact in this case is the lens of the camera. So you were really looking into the lens, and I felt like you were talking directly to me. And the way you were illustrating your point, you were showing the intensity of what you were saying. And it was a very powerful message that you had. Now, what I think that you could work on is maybe to try and learn how to use your voice to slow down and talk about the more serious parts of your speech with a somber tone, because then that'll help connect to the audience in an emotional way. When you slow down the pace and also turn down the volume a bit, not when you can't hear you, but we can pause and feel that moment. But have you ever had a terrible boss? Or I resigned. And then give us a moment to really feel the punch of that statement, that you had had enough and you actually resigned. So with that feedback, I think great foundations of a speech, your storytelling, excellent, facial gestures, hand gestures used purposefully, your pace, your vocal variety, everything was on point. And if you can use that tool of maybe slowing things down when you need to create impact, you'd have more effective speeches going forward. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day. I mean, our facilitator for the day, Granny V.
Thank you so much. Yes, we are so used to using our Toastmasters jargon. And when we have these demonstration meetings, it's so easy for those words to slip in. But yes, a Toastmaster of a day is the same as an MC. An MC is what you understand. Thank you so much, dearest Bami, for giving good, constructive peer feedback. And just before I go on, I'd like to just, because in the house here, we have some amazing leaders. And normally when we have our club meetings and we have of our leaders in, we start off by acknowledging them and welcoming each one with their titles. But when we have a meeting like this, we kind of ignore all our leaders and just stay focused on what's happening here. So if you are one of our precious leaders, no, we don't disregard you. It is just a special meeting and you are specially welcome. I move on to our next segment. One thing for you to learn about Toastmasters is we begin on time, we end on time, and we waste no time. However, there are important things for us to learn within a Toastmasters environment and personally. I don't know if you ever had to explain a complex situation or anything that's really complex or that needs to be brought across powerfully, that people can see deep impact. Pretty much like Brandt's story was tonight. He told us his life story, but he did it with impact. And tonight we're going to go on to the storytelling session, which is a platform we create to help you loosen up a little bit. Now, I would like to ask that if you are a Toastmaster, would you please be willing to put your camera on so that our storytelling person can at least ask first a Toastmaster, because we know what's happening, to make it comfortable for the guests, and then to be able to see which guest is ready to play with us in this storytelling game. I would like to introduce our storytelling master tonight that was going to lead you into impromptu speaking of storytellers. And this is where we create a relaxed and fun and warm environment for ourselves to grow. Please help me welcome somebody very dear and precious to me, our very own Angie Cavito, our storyteller for tonight. Please be welcome, Angie.
Woohoo! You know, when Oprah comes into her studio where all the audience are sitting and everybody applauds, I didn't see a lot of applause when I came into this room. Can I please see the applause? Give me the emoji. For those that you've got your videos on, please show me love, because we are going to have a show tonight. Are you ready? Yay! So I see CJ has been here for a while, and let me just say that I am here to just collect some very interesting stories from across Southern Africa and maybe beyond. I know Don said he made his first international speech tonight, and it was his first speech ever. So Don, you off the hook for now, only for now. But I think CJ has been diligently on this call, and I think CJ is actually so ready to start off this storytelling session. So a little bit about what I need us to do. You know, I don't have gifts like Oprah when she says, and everybody's going to get a gift. You're going to get a gift, Marie. CJ's going to get a gift. Brandt's going to get a gift. Sunetti's going to get a gift. Jasmine's got a gift. But what I do have for you is an opportunity to test that speaking muscle tonight. So if you are a guest on this call, do not feel pressurized. All the topics I will be sharing with you is all simple enough, and I will make it uncomplicated because CJ is going to show us how it's done. CJ, are you ready? Yes. Ready. So CJ, you know, I think you are in Namibia, if I'm correct, right?
Yes.
Excellent. So, you know, I've always wanted to travel to Namibia because of the desert and the sea. I have, however, traveled to Namibia when I did the Fish River Canyon. Is there any place in Namibia that you would recommend to your global audience this evening? Over to you, sir.
I would like to invite you and everybody else from outside to come to Namibia and join us here at the coast. You'll find the Skeleton Coast, which is a very rare phenomenon where you find, I mean, if you're in Cape Town, Durban, wherever, you find the greenery, you find forests along the coast, and right there you get the beach or the sea. With us, we have the bare desert, but it's such a beautiful, exquisite experience. It's something out of this world. You need to come and see that. You need to experience that. You need to experience the vibrance of the people that we have in our country. Just recently, I was marking some scripts. Now I'm gonna gossip about children, but they said that the welwitschia plant, which is the oldest in the desert, okay, it's the roots go 2.5 kilometers down down the soil, which is not true, but that's also something to come and see, especially if you into botany, you know, you love plants and so on. That's something you can see. But the desert to me is personally one of the most tranquil places. Sossusvlei, the dead flay. It's such a beautiful environment to come and just relax and get rid of all the baggage that you have and just drop it there in the desert and go back rejuvenated, refreshed, and go back and take on the world again.
I think CJ could be a tourist agent officially for Namibia, because I am sold for the Skeleton Coast, and I found 3 things this evening that will help me relax. This music, maybe the fishing will be a bit of a stretch, Don, and then I found the desert. Thank you so much, CJ, for sharing that amazing journey that I'll probably take. So when I'm in the Skeleton Coast, I'll probably come and pop in and say, CJ, I'm here on your recommendation. Great. Now that CJ has shown us, and remember, CJ loves Namibia, I'm going to now call on one of our guests, maybe if they would be interested in joining me. Now, I saw Jasmine was quite active when she was asked questions, and she was so responsive. Jasmine, please switch on your video and join me as I give you an opportunity to get that gift of speaking. Jasmine, would you be able to put on your video for me, please, and join me? It's a simple question, Jasmine. I'm sure you will be able to share some wisdom with us. Is Jasmine there? Going once? Going twice? Oh, we'll park Jasmine for a little bit later. I think they're a bit shy. They're a bit shy. But let me go to Khoaba or Ne. Is that right? I'm trying.
I know you've been avoiding that name.
Honest, I was trying to just be correct. Please encourage, show Jasmine and show Berita how it's done. So I've got an interesting thing from you. Where are you from? Where are you based?
I'm based in Botswana, Johannesburg.
Excellent. So we've had somebody from Namibia, and we've got somebody from Botswana. So I know Botswana is a fantastic, beautiful country. But I would like to ask you, what is the one thing that you would say is special about Botswana? One thing that you like, this is my country, I am proud to be from Botswana, I just love Botswana. What is the one thing that will make me come to Botswana?
Thank you very much for that question. Botswana, Botswana are very interesting people. I don't know much about other nations, but I think the most special thing about my country is the people. Botswana are very welcoming people, very understanding, and sometimes the understanding is seen as a weakness in us, but that is something that I think makes us a beautiful nation. And I'm quite sure that if anyone is to visit my county, the first thing that they are going to pick is that the people are very welcoming and very interesting people, very good people.
That's my kind of people, Ernest. I would definitely want to join you in Botswana. And seeing that we're going international, you know, Granny B, I'm seeing that I've got Irina here. Irina, are you in a place where you can switch on your video to maybe share something with us? Yay!
Yes.
So Irina just popped in. So Irina, first tell us, where are you from? And then I want you to tell me what, and I know this about you. So what is the latest book that you are reading and why?
Thank
so first
you,
tell us where
Angie.
you're from, and then tell us what the book that you're reading.
Thank you, Angie. Good evening, everyone. The last book that I read is Daniel Goleman, Emotional Intelligence. Why I read it? Yeah, because since the lead session that we had last year with Toastmasters, then I became passionate about emotional intelligence. I think since that time, it really helps me to manage well my emotion, either with my professional relationship or personal relationship, even with my children here at home. Since that time, it's easier for me to deal with my anger, for example. Yeah, to deal with my emotion. Yeah.
So, Irina, where are you from?
Madagascar. Sorry, I forgot to say that, Angie. I'm from Madagascar.
So, Dawn, truly international. Hey, thank you so much, Irina, for joining us this evening. And I see Jasmine said she'll be back. Kula said they'll be back. And Sanette said we'll definitely try and take up the speaking role at the next event. Having said all of that, I'm going to encourage you to share a little bit about yourself every time you speak. And when you find yourself in an elevator with a stranger, think for a moment and say, "Hi, my name is Angie, and I am da-da-da-da-da-da." Who knows? That may be your next network, your next job, and maybe, dot. Over to you, Granny B.
Thank you so much to our storytelling queen. We so appreciated you and taking us through those different scenarios and just helping to make this meeting more fun, relaxed, and helping us to get to know each other a little bit more. And that, you know, there's that saying that says your network is your net worth. And definitely that's one of the things that we can find within Toastmasters. Toastmasters is an organization with over 280,000 members across the world in 144 countries. I don't want to go on with more statistics, but I just want you to know it's big. And you've seen tonight, we've shared with you about leadership development you can do here, speaking development, peer feedback you can get, storytelling to get you ready for that elevator pitch. But now, you're probably wondering, so what's in it for me? What can I get out of it? Ha! Just to give you those answers, here is our very own Future Moyo. And Future, before you start, please let everybody know where you are from so that we know that tonight we are representing the world. Okay, just more of Africa, but that's the world for us in any case. Please, let's welcome Future Moyo. Welcome, dearest Future.
Yes, I'm ready. Right on time.
There we
Somebody
go.
can see me.
Yes, we can see you. Over to you now, dearest Future.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. Find your voice and inspire others to find theirs. This is a quote by Stephen Covey. Do we have a voice? Do you currently feel that you have a voice? Are you speaking your truth? Kindly type on the chat box if you feel that you need to find your voice. If you already have your voice, let me know by saying, yes, I have a voice, or you raise your hand. If you feel you need to work on your voice, tell me that I need to find my voice. I'll have a look at the chat box and see the responses that are coming through. I need to find my voice. Oh my goodness, what has happened now? Damn. Did I look?
It looks like she was cut off again. The joys of happening here. Let's move on. Well, I'm just making sure that I am not cutting her off. DEF, no, Future isn't there. I shall continue. I will continue with my journey. In finding your voice, for me, it happened. I was doing training of leaders and I was doing presentations and conferences. And I thought to myself, well, I've been doing that for others all along. Why don't I do it for my own pocket? And I was figuring out, yeah. Now, I had already been a Toastmaster since 2001. That's when I joined the first time. And I had done many things within Toastmasters, but I didn't understand the depth of where I could go to until this mind shift change took place. And I then took my education that Toastmasters provides us with, and I turned it into my personal goals going forward. To be able to find out, what do I need if I become a professional speaker? To develop it, I developed my own websites and social media, etc. And they were all part and parcel of my projects. So this is what I want you to see from Toastmasters. You see, you can join or connect to any special training that's there. And they're often amazing trainings, and they cost around about $7,500 for 3 days. And it's amazing content. And you walk away, and a week later, it's but a vapor. It's gone. So what makes Toastmasters different? Remember what I said. I took my education and I began to work through the projects, following what they guide me with step by step. Then I used Toastmasters, which, according to my knowledge, is the only platform that doesn't just give you education, but it provides a safe place. What shall I say? It teaches you to create your safe place where you can practice and practice and practice until you can shine. And as you practice, you develop these skills and you find your voice. That's critical. What makes it a safe place is how we impact each other and learning to keep it positive, encouraging, supportive, and that we can grow each other. Because if I can learn how to give you peer feedback that's encouraging and motivating, and I take that approach into my work environment or into my business or wherever I go, I will activate and empower my teams or my boss, whoever it is, because I've learned to develop communication and leadership skills and other business skills for my success. Now, tonight, you might ask, so what does it cost? What is all involved, etc.? There are a number of people here from all different parts. We've created a standard short little form to just ask you critical information to be able to know which clubs you would potentially be connected with. And then tomorrow, somebody will be reaching out to you to give you the specifics. I'm going to give you just a very rough guide. The rough guide is this. Every club has to pay a certain amount of money over to Toastmasters International, and that is standard for everyone. But not every club has the same running expenses. So the cost of Toastmasters can differ from club to club, depending on what the clubs offer, how they do it. There's a club in Cape Town that you pay per meeting about 160 because you have a very elegant sit-down meal that accompanies with it. And those people want that kind. And that's why their fees are structured according to that. And others just meet online and it's the bare minimum necessities. So it varies. I'm going to just give you a guideline by which you can work to more or less adjust. Because of the rate of exchange, there is a one-time $20 fee that must be charged. And that varies from club to club, whether they've adjusted their rate of exchange or whether they haven't, but it's approximately around a $20. And then there is, normally you pay for 6 months. However, our next term of payment is coming on the 1st of October is a renewal. So right now, there are 4 months. And you can calculate those 4 months of around 200 Rand per month. That would be a safe estimate. And I know the clubs that are here are ready to give you some kind of a special deal if you pay before Monday or by Monday. And each one will let you know what it is. But this is just so that you can have a bit of an indication. So I want you to understand that the best thing to do is to think of your Toastmasters education as an annual education. Work out the annual fees, collect it over, say, 3 months, and pay it over to your club that it's there. Think about it. If it's going to cost you as an expensive price, 200 Rand a month, a big fat pizza almost beats that. You easily spend more than that. And this is to develop you so that you can increase your capacity. I am sharing the link quickly in the box. Oh, Dolly, just a second. I see I'm not a normal woman. I can only do one thing at a time. There we go. I have shared the link. Please click on that link and complete the simple form to be able to help us know who to get hold of you that will be closest to you, that will be able to help you on your Toastmasters journey. I just noticed we are 1 minute over time. I am so sorry. We are the kind of people, we begin on time, we end on time, and we waste no time. That's who we are. So with that, I would like to ask, would you all please, if at all possible, just put on your camera for a photograph, that we could just take a photograph. For those of us that are here, please put your camera on for the photo. We will not ask you to say anything. We will just ask you to put a smile on your dial. Right, thank you. Keep on getting those cameras coming on that we can take that photo. We are looking forward to seeing your faces. Let me just get that thing sorted out for taking the picture. And I'm getting ready. Right, I will make you ready too. I'm going to do it twice. So I want you to get ready and put on the biggest smile that you can think of. 1, 2, 3, and smile. There we go. And now I just want to paste it somewhere that we can be sure we don't lose it and that we have it for safekeeping and we can share it again further. And now we're going to take the second picture because there are 2 pages of Zoom here so that the other page can also come on board. So keep those smiles. I'm getting ready for the next picture, for the next page. And selection made. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, and smile. Thank you. And with that, this meeting is officially closed. If you need to go, you're welcome to do that, but please make sure you have clicked on that link and filled in the form. Other than that, I will stay on the line. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me questions. But I just want to say thank you to the team that were on the agenda tonight for being on time, for being here, bringing your part. I so appreciate you. And for everyone that attended tonight, wow, it was great to connect with you and to meet you. Have a fantastic weekend, and we will be getting hold of you soon. And here I am. Any questions? Go for it. Thank you, Georgina. Yari, hello. Or is it goodbye, Yari? I'm not sure.
Hello, baby. Hello.
Hello, my darling. I
Hi,
miss
CJ.
you.
Hi, MG. Hi, Marie.
Hi, good evening.
It was a great meeting.
Good. I'm so
Thank
happy
you
you
so
were here. Dan, Ernst, it was great to have you here. Tell me, have you been at a demonstration meeting before?
Is going to be talking to Yari.
To Ernst.
Oh, it's okay. What about it?
Yes.
No, I don't think I've been to a demo meeting before.
Okay.
I don't remember being at one, but
Now, just because I haven't seen any questions yet, I would just like to, for your education, share with you that we have 2 types of meetings that are similar to this. The one is the demonstration meeting where we just demonstrate Toastmasters to people that don't know anything about it, that would like, so that they could join a club here or there. And then we have what we call a launch meeting. We handle the process slightly different, but it is close to each other in style of meeting. But that meeting is when we want to start a new club. We rally up all the troops. We advertise everything. We make a big deal of it. And that's what you learn when you want to launch your business. It's the same kind of learning that you experience for when you want to start up a business and you want to get it known out there. That's what you do to start a club. And all the processes and everything that's needed for that, you learn when you do that. And it all leads up to this launch meeting. And the idea is to have at least 150 people at your launch meeting. And when that meeting is finished, you have 20 members and you are starting a club and taking people flying. And my dearest darling Angie, did you want to quickly say something as well? Because I know you wanted to go off somewhere else, and I know you always have value to add.
So it was fantastic to be here. I think you also taught me another trick tonight, Granny B, in terms of the storytelling. I think as Toastmasters, we think we know until we get another opportunity. And I think as Toastmasters, as individuals, not even Toastmasters, we can take up any opportunity. And I believe that you have to try. It's like, if you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't try, you don't know. And who knows where you may find yourself. So it's important for us just to put our feet in the water and then put the foot, then 2 feet and then 2. And you will eventually get in and start trying to balance yourself and swim. But it has to happen at some point. So my journey started in 2010 and I decided I wanted to grow professionally. Nothing to do with Toastmasters. I wanted them to help me. And they did. So I can tell you for sure, I always tell people this, Granny B, and I must stop doing it because I'm going to run out of payback refunds. Because I always tell people, especially people that have not started their journey, is to tell them, if you join now, and after 6 months, you come back to me and say, Angie, you were on a call on the 26th of May, 2023, and you said that if I come back to you and I say, I want a refund, you'll give it to me. I guarantee you 100% a return on your investment. If you come to me and you say, I have not been fulfilled, I did not get what I came for, I didn't enjoy the people, I didn't make networks, I didn't make friends, I'll give your money back just like that. And I've got good news for you. Nobody has come back. And I've been to open houses. I've been to launch meetings. And I have not had somebody say, who's that Angie Kivido? Let me hunt it down. I want my refund. So that has not happened yet. But it's just that I believe in the program so much that it can actually transform a life. And it all starts with one single step, Granny B. And thank you so much for the opportunity, guys. I have to kedazzle.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. And that is so true that the most important thing to be able to be successful in gaining those skills is because you are self-directed. You are ready to direct yourself on your learning. Don't wait for a thing to, nothing drops out of the sky. It comes to those that make it happen. I always say, I've changed it recently. I now say, Toastmasters doesn't work. Then why are we here? Why are you trying to make Toastmasters out of us? Well, does your knife in your kitchen work? No, it's lying in the drawer. Go into the kitchen, pick up that knife, and then use it and chop things up. It's the same with Toastmasters. Connect with a Toastmasters club, pick up your Toastmasters, and gain those essential skills. Any questions before I close the meeting? It's quiet in this room. A joke master here by any chance? Okay, then thank you, Angie. Yes. Then with that, I officially close this meeting and wish you all an amazing weekend, and you will hear from us. I hope you filled in the form and clicked the link. Bye-bye, everyone. I will be closing the meeting.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Granny.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a blessed weekend.
Thank you, and you. I'm just looking through these
Bye.
messages. Bye-bye, everyone.